Welcome to the Mental Funny Bone, a podcast where we strive to create a safe and entertaining space where listeners can explore mental health topics, find solace, and enjoy laughter. The podcast aims to destigmatize mental health discussions and empower individuals to approach their own well-being with humor and openness. I am Sarah.
And I'm Christine, and neither of us are mental health professionals. We simply enjoy a life where we can talk openly and freely about our mental health and wellness journeys. So we welcome you to that. And if you do need professional mental health advice, we recommend that you check out our show notes for links that can help you find the right mental health professional for you.
Wow. That might have been it. That might have been it. We might just need to pluck that from this. Outside of me saying weirdly, I'm Sarah. Outside of that, everything else was great.
Nailed the intro. I'm so sad that I've wasted that title on another episode because now we really have nailed the intro.
Yeah.
That
was great. That was great.
A year into it.
Christine, I think that you need to go back and write down everything you just said.
I can't even remember it. My head hurts.
No, but that's why we record shit, so you could listen to it and write things down.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's so convenient. That's so convenient.
And that's always why I say when we start meetings, is somebody recording this? Because I will not remember. I will be distracted.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So there you have it. I feel like after last week, we should update everybody on the Pope's status.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Are you aware of the Pope's status?
Yeah, he is doing much better.
Okay.
He was seen going to mass.
I didn't know
I
this.
believe.
I'm actually just reading something about it.
No, I
right
watch
now.
the news every night so I can see the weather.
I heard
Because
something
I
on the
work
news
outside.
this morning about it, so I thought that it was good news, which is why I wanted to do this.
Again, I'm a little disappointed. I mean, I like that the Pope is doing better. That's nice. But
you just want to see the smoke come out of the building.
I really like when we elect a new Pope. Like, it's one of my favorite Catholic things. Like fish fries and new popes. That's what I'm in it for.
Well, he is using high flow oxygen therapy with nasal cannulae, CANNULAE. How do you say that?
Cannules?
Cannule? Okay. Less frequently. So that's good.
You know what that is, right? That's the things they stick up his nose like this.
Oh, is it the little oxygen things? I used to wake up with those around my neck when we would go out down to Sports Rock in the Strip District because they had oxygen bars back in the day where you paid somebody money to sit there. They would give you your little tubes and you could plug them into different types of oxygen you wanted to breathe in.
I remember this.
Swear to God. Swear to God. Right. Okay.
Becca,
so anyway,
I feel bad that you didn't grow up in this time. Becca, the intern, everyone.
The one time I woke up in my tiny little shady side apartment in the hallway. Do you remember that hallway? It was very curved. And I was like snuggling against the curve in the wall. And I had on that nose, that cannule thing up my nose from the bar. I was like, ooh, interesting.
It seems like something that you would just wear around after too. Like you would go to another bar later and you would just have the things up your nose. Be like, look how cool I am, y'all. I was at the oxygen bar.
Everywhere I went, that shit was up my nose for sure. Wow.
Ridiculous. I'd already had children at this point. A child.
Yes. But yeah, so it seems the Pope's doing better. He has some swelling in his hand, seen in a photo taken and published yesterday. The fuck?
Kind of paparazzi is the Pope getting that are like, get a picture of his hand. Get a picture of his hand. $10,000 for a picture of the Pope's hand.
But the good news is it's just reduced, or it's due to reduced mobility, and it's improving today. So are they taking time-lapsed hand shots?
Obviously someone is getting that picture and they're like, all right, we paid $10,000 for this picture. Let's compare it to last year's hand and see what's up with the hands.
Maybe the Pope is a hand model. You know, Uncle Paul used to be a hand model.
Yeah, I do remember that. Thank you. Your dad and Uncle Paul also invented a snack, which was a peanut wrapped in a pretzel. Like a lot of shit went down. They didn't have an oxygen bar, so they didn't get to have as much fun.
They just put
They
peanuts
just
and pretzels, which I'm trying to imagine. Did they just
they
eat the peanut and the
chewing
pretzels
on it.
together?
Yes, I think that's what happened. They were at the Blue Diamond, and
Hmm.
somebody like the
Yep.
idea of eating food at the Blue
Hmm.
Diamond. It's
Yeah.
eh, eh,
Hmm.
like anybody local, having been to the Blue Diamond will remember the men's restroom had a carpet.
I was just going to say there was a carpet in the bathroom. I mean, it was just carpeted flooring, wasn't it?
Carpeted floor in the men's room.
In a public men's room.
Huh. Like, I hate to make the vomit noises because you're so much better at it, but I mean, I mean,
No.
it was one of my
And I feel like
favorite places to go.
you make good vomit noises. But yeah,
Oh, thank
the
you. I
Blue Diamond
appreciate
was
that.
it, man. I loved going to the Blue Diamond, mostly because mommy and daddy would pay for all my beers while I was there.
Right. That was the advantage.
And I
I
would
think
just sit at the little machine and play the block game and smoke cigarettes and drink beer. And mommy would make me go to the bathroom with her a couple times so she could sneak my cigarettes.
I love your mother. I love your
The
mother.
best. She's the fucking best.
I think we went to the Blue Diamond the night before my wedding. Like after the
Mhm.
rehearsal dinner, we were at the Blue Diamond.
Yep, I do. I wasn't allowed to drink.
Well,
I
because
wonder
you
if I
um,
did
twenty.
drink. I
This
was
has
20.
this is our Gaster story of the week, everyone. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh,
These
okay.
are the Gaster story of the week is now about the Blue Diamond because this is much more fun than the topic I had laid out. So,
I mean, we can do both of them, but I love the Blue Diamond. It's where I went for my 21st birthday with my mom and dad.
I mean, I think at one point the bartender at the Blue Diamond tried to fix up my friend Denise, Denise F at the time, but Denise U now.
Yeah.
Tried to fix her up with one of her sons. And by saying, are you, I wasn't attached, but it was like the overtone was that Denise was in the mafia.
Oh. Well, yeah,
Right.
I mean,
I was like,
just
I
making
don't
sure.
think Denise is in the mafia. She's a very, very
Weird.
small. Like, she's not gonna be a very good hitman. Plus, she was noisy, so she wasn't going to sneak up on anybody. Anyway, so yeah, the night before my wedding, where are we? We're at the local dive bar where people are peeing on the carpeted floor in the men's room, eating
I can't
obviously
remember.
pretzels and peanuts
Obviously, because
together.
that is where the peanut wrapped pretzel came into existence, at least
Right.
in Daddy and Uncle Paul's minds.
Right, right. So,
Hmm.
for those of you who may be new here, our Uncle Paul is actually not related to us at all. Our Uncle Paul is our dad's best friend from high school.
And my godfather.
And right, and Sarah's godfather. It's a bit of a sore spot. So what happened?
I got the best godparent.
You did. I mean, you couldn't have asked for better godparents, like with the gifts and with their knowledge of Catholicism.
Yeah, right.
Uncle Paul to everyone else is called preacher, like reacher.
Except for a lot smaller and with a
Right.
P.
Right. But now
Well,
I want to
but
talk about reacher real
me
bad.
too. I love Reacher.
Oh, okay. No, podcast. We're
Okay.
podcasting.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Uncle Paul's nickname was Preacher. So we had
Hmm.
Jumbo and Preacher, and they were inseparable. They were hanging around together, went on vacations together many a time.
Why did they call Uncle Paul preacher? Because he was going to go to the preschool?
He
Not
went,
preschool, priest school.
he went to the school for priests.
Did he? Did he
Yeah.
go for a second?
Yeah. Yeah. He was
Okay.
there for a heartbeat. And I think the story I remember in my head, which I think we've discussed many a times, could
Mhm.
potentially be completely inaccurate, is
Yep.
that he missed Aunt Kay.
I was gonna say, so did he miss Aunt Kay and was like, or did he meet Aunt? I don't know when he met Aunt Kay. Like, did he meet
Sure.
Aunt Kay? Was she a
No. High
secretary
school.
at the priest school?
No,
And he was like, hey,
she's
hey,
not.
he was like,
Hey,
hey,
girl.
girl,
Hey,
hey. Then he said, fuck this priest shit.
what's up, cutie? Right. Not going to do the
Okay,
priest thing anymore.
no,
Ew.
that
Ew.
priest.
These are ew.
Bleh.
Ugh.
Okay.
Ew.
Alrighty. Back to the Blue Diamond Bar and Grill,
Blue Diamond
which
Bar and Grill.
was there a grill there?
I don't remember. Once again, I am not too keen on eating food from someplace where there's carpet in the men's room. And
Yeah.
it, I mean, it was a very nice establishment run by an old school family here in the area. It had a long and glorious tradition. The
Mhm.
Blue Diamond Bar and Grill.
Mhm.
Many generations ahead of us had hung out at the Blue Diamond Bar and Grill. When I moved back, your dad would go to Monday Night Football at the Blue Diamond Bar and Grill.
Yeah, I was his ride to Monday Night Football most of the time.
Right. Right. And then I ended up picking him up sometimes.
Hmm.
Right. So, he would always be up the blue. You would go up the
Yeah,
blue. Hey, we're going up
up
the
the
blue.
blue.
Right. So it was never down the blue. It was never over to the blue. It
Well, it
was
was up the
never,
hill. It was up a little hill.
I feel like it was also down a hill. Like there
It
were
was, but
many
you had to go
hills
up the hill first and then you come down the hill. So, I mean, you just go with like the first thing. I don't
up the
know.
blue.
I don't know. We're going up the blue. All
Going
right.
up.
All right,
Oh my
Pappy.
God. We're going up the blue
Sounds good.
diamond. Right.
Dad, are you
And
ready? Dad, I'm here to pick you up. Are you ready? Just one more, Sarah.
Sarah,
Just gonna have one more, Sarah. Come on in. Come on in.
come on in.
Come on
Come
in.
on in.
Hey, have you guys met my daughter? This is my
A
daughter,
hundred
Sarah. I'm
times.
gonna have one more
Hi.
time. One more.
Hi, Jan. Hi. Hi, Uncle Paul. Hi,
Yes,
other
yes.
Paul.
Hmm.
Like, hi, a tall guy who had a cassette tapes in his pockets all the time. Forget what
Hmm.
his name was.
I don't remember that guy.
Very weird.
This was much
He
more
wasn't weird. It was
fun
just
when I
very
was
strange.
smoking. Like when I
Right.
would smoke in front of daddy, like it's like this is much. In fact, I think by that point I was smoking in front of daddy, so I could just sit there and smoke, so it was fine.
Right. Right.
Hmm. Yeah,
I
because
think
that's what my life revolved around.
at one point, David and I joined a bowling league that met at the Blue Diamond. They had a bowling machine, not a bowling alley, but it had like a tiny little
It
puck,
was duck pins. It was kind of like duck pins. Yeah,
kind of like a combination, like if bowling and shuffleboard had a
yeah,
baby. That's what
yep.
this game would be. The shuffleboard, the puck thing was kind of big, and you would slide it
Hmm.
down, and it would go over these sensors, and the sensors would then go clip clip, and the pins would clip clip up like that.
They could go up. We had I used to drive home from the city to participate in that. Hmm. I
Good
forget what night it was,
times.
Wednesdays or Thursdays, and we had an actual banquet. Like we went down
Yeah,
to Wheeling the one year for
yeah,
the Blue Diamond Bowling League.
right. Right. It was an actual league. There were teams. I was on a
Yeah.
team. I
Hmm.
believe Dale was on a team, Dale
Yeah,
A.
Dale. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes David wouldn't go because there were people who would lick their fingers and then
Ooh.
throw the
Hmm.
thing. And
I don't
David was
remember.
like, I
I
can't
must have
go.
quit before David started because I don't remember David. I guess my drive, that was probably when I decided I couldn't make that drive anymore, or I
Right.
couldn't remain sober enough to make that drive anymore.
And there's always that. There was always that.
Whatever.
Yeah. Fun times. Fun times. Fondly remember spending time at the Blue Diamond Bar and Grill.
Mhm.
I think I actually tried to go in and visit later, and it's hard when your dad doesn't hang out there, and then you
Yeah.
walk in and it is just like a bunch of maybe older gentlemen who have been
Mhm.
drinking since 8 a.m. and you're like, "Hi,
Weird. Okay.
I
Yeah,
have to go."
I don't think I ever went there by myself ever. I don't think there was ever a time where I would have gone there by myself.
Nope, bizarre. But cheers to you, Blue Diamond Bar and Grill. Happy day after St. Patrick's Day, and I hope that everyone had a fantastic time St. Patrick's Day. I really wish we gave Becca the license to speak because I would like to hear what college kids are doing for St. Patrick's Day.
I feel
Hopefully,
like
a
we're in
porch.
charge of this and we can probably tell her to unmute and talk.
I feel like
Or
it's
was there a
better if we just
law against it?
keep her over there in her corner,
I don't know. I feel like
just
look at
doing
her.
the
She's so
editing.
excited. It was like her little tail came up for a second and was like, "Oh, oh, oh."
I want to
And
talk.
then
I
you
want
were
to
like,
talk.
"No, we're just going to
No,
leave her in the
no.
corner." And her little tail went back down.
Like then she's sad. She's sad. Um,
That's mean. It's really fucking
It is
mean.
mean. It is
I'm
mean.
sorry, Becca, but my sister's the one who's in charge.
Right. Well, all right, Becca, I took you off mute. I took
Okay.
you off mute. Come on out of your corner.
I just work here.
tell us what the college kids are doing for St. Patrick's Day. You know, a porch fell on some kids here in Pittsburgh.
Mm, hmm.
Yes. So fake patties is bigger than the actual day itself. I knew a few people who went out yesterday, but Friday and Saturday, the past weekend, those were really busy. But then this weekend, the 22nd is to Barstool, which is very official. It's like the communicator across campus for party events and stuff like that. Said March 22nd is fake patties. So that's when
Oh.
all of the fraternities will, do like day parties and stuff like that. I have roommates getting up at like 5 a.m. to start drinking, and that
Kegs and eggs, motherfuckers.
will be sleeping until maybe 10 and maybe go out. We'll see.
It's nice. It's nice to be a senior.
I bet I can find directions to this university.
I bet you can. They don't hide it, turns out. They don't hide it.
I can't wait to track Becca down on Saturday.
Becca, it's us. What you
We're here to
doing?
party.
We're sleepy. It's 3:30. We have to go. We have to go home.
Right.
We're good.
I wish I could, but yeah, Owen has 2
Yeah.
freaking soccer games. Stupid.
I have a Lego Hogsmeade to set up, so yeah.
I feel like one of
can't
these
find the
days,
time.
though, like, do you guys have like a parents' weekend, Becca?
Yes, I think
She's
that was
graduating
like,
in like 4 weeks.
Suck, we could go back and be her friends' parents.
Oh my God! Now we're gonna go back for homecoming.
Yeah.
homecoming is a big, big deal here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We've also had a lot of college athletes, specifically our football team. I think we lost every single game this season. I could be very
Awesome.
wrong, but very, very close. So we've had a lot of players go to the portal. So I don't know how good our team is going to be for next homecoming. I don't know anything
What
about
does that mean? Go to the portal.
They're gonna transfer to a different school.
Uh,
There's a process
wow.
for it now. Like you don't just quit the team and then go to a different school. There's a whole thing.
Jeez. You said the portal. I like, for some reason, I pictured the porta john. Like, did they just go in there and disappear?
Yes. They don't go to school
Hey.
here no more.
You suck. Get to the portal.
Just volunteering like lemmings.
Wow. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think that we'll do homecoming.
Homecoming. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't
Yep.
wait. This is going to be epic.
Mm-hmm.
Epic.
Yeah,
What year
hey,
did you graduate? Sarah, what year did you graduate?
1999?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems right. I feel like it makes me I like that better than 2000.
Right. Right. I'm gonna go with older. I'm gonna go with 87. Like I was there in
Wow.
87. Yeah. You guys don't know
You
how epic it was.
you just want to do that so everybody says to you,
Oh my God, you look
"No,
so young."
you don't look that old."
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes.
No way.
No, yes. Oh my God, I'm so
Wow.
old.
You look so youthful.
Right. I look great for 64 or whatever that would make
Mhm.
me.
Yeah. 64?
No idea.
I don't.
It's a lot of math. It's a lot of math. I've been
That's a
mathing
lot of
all
numbers.
day. Been mathing all day. Oh, okay. We should do our podcast now. We should do fan mail.
Okay.
So feedback this week has been
Mhm.
generally good about the podcast. I've heard from maybe
like
a couple of people, and
I like it.
honestly, like the weeks are starting to run together.
Mhm.
So thanks guys for showing us some love. We appreciate it. We can't get enough fan mail, and I will tell you that God bless you.
Excuse me.
Becca, if you could just mark what time Sarah belched in my ears, that would be great.
And if you can just like cut her off so you can get the full effect of the little tiny burp, I think that we should do that. It was just a little baby burp,
Anyway,
little baby bird burp.
we enjoy knowing that we're not just talking out into the void.
Mhm.
So if you guys could keep sharing your fan mail and sending us text messages and stuff like that, we definitely appreciate it.
We dig it.
I think that's it. I think that's all for me. Gaster story of the week ended up being the blue diamond. So I'll just tuck away the other
Mhm.
Gaster story of the week that I had. And we'll do that when the next time I'm in charge of it.
I forget which one you were going to do.
Me too.
Okay.
So luckily we landed on the Blue Diamond Bar and Grill.
Luckily, we started talking about the blue diamond.
And pretzels, peanuts covered in pretzels. Or I think it was peanuts covered in potato chips. That's what it was. And then somebody made that snack in the early 2000s, and I think your dad got mad. Your dad was like, look at this
Really?
shit. Yeah, look it up. Look it up. I bet if you ask the Google if there was a snack of a potato chip wrapped around a peanut, it will give you an answer.
I bet I know who's asking Google.
The only one here who's typing.
Yep, that would be Becca.
That's why we pay her or don't pay her.
Or
Right.
just tell her to do shit.
Right. Becca.
That's like the Snuggie. I think we also invented the Snuggie and didn't. I feel like there's lots of shit we invented, but we're just too damn lazy.
Our dad invented a lot of things. I think we
Mhm.
covered like all of his topics.
Ooh, potato
No.
chip candy clusters? No, because those have the chocolate in them.
Yeah, there's no chocolate in this, Becca. Oh, I'm so
No.
disappointed. Oh, a nutter.
What?
There it is. There it is. It was a nutter.
Wait,
There it
what's it
is.
called?
Nutters.
The nutter up at the
Nutters.
top.
Be more nuts.
It's a bag.
Nutters
No,
review.
there's actually a bag that
Right.
says nutter. Nutters. So when you say nutters, I'm surprised a bunch of porn
with a
didn't
Z.
come up.
With a Z.
Oh, nutters with a Z.
With a Z.
This is where the porn's going to come up.
D's nuts. There it is. There it is. There it is.
Look at
there
the
it is.
nutters. Oh,
Be more
jalapeno
nuts.
cheddar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Nutters.
Pappy was mad about that.
Potato chip coated peanuts. Like if
Is
you
it still? Does it still exist? Can we buy these somewhere?
I think
Are
you
they on
should be able to.
Amazon?
Tough nutters? No, that's
Tough
not what we want.
nutters? No. I
Nutters
don't want
snacks. No, I'm telling her how to search. Nutters snacks.
It's like a game show.
Potato chip coated peanuts.
Crab flavor. You know who had crabs? Don't say it. Buy snacks on Amazon. So you buy them on Amazon.
Oh my God.
Maybe. I don't know.
We've taken a turn here.
I don't think that they actually exist anymore, but I love the fact that they're called nutters. Which, speaking of nutters, let's go to the conversation we were having yesterday. I think that you brought something up about our listeners and you said boner. And out of nowhere,
Yeah.
I was like, hey, remember the best friend on Growing Pains? Did they really call him Boner?
I am surprised, frankly, that it has taken you this long to reference Richard Stabone. Is his name.
This is the next thing. I wasn't even I did not remember and did not acknowledge back in the day that his name was Richard Stabone.
Dick Boner.
Dick Boner. I did not know. And I wanted to laugh about it, but I also read a little bit about him today before we got on here, and it's sad.
It just I thoroughly enjoyed thinking about Richard Stabone and
how his mom
Kirk
used
Cameron
to stitch his name into his underwears, but the name she stitched into his underwears, wasn't it Boner?
Yeah, she would write Boner in his underwear on the show. Like on the show, not in real life, because his real name isn't Richard Stabone. Like just on Family Ties. He was Kirk Cameron's best friend. They got caught cheating on a test.
Yeah, his real name is Andrew Koenig. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate. Topical for our show, though.
But I do believe that was it 2010. So anyway, yeah, he died by suicide. I didn't read the whole story. I didn't get to the end of it. There is this very long story that I found about him. I didn't get to read the whole thing, but he was actually missing for 2 weeks, and he was very he thought things out. He thought things out for sure. But anyway, so pour a little out for Boner. I don't know what pour a little out means.
I think it's a gang thing. So now you're in a gang. Awesome. They're gonna come and make you sell drugs now.
I bet I end up with some pretty cool fucking tattoos though. Boner tattoos.
All right, let's talk about mental wellness while I still have the energy to hate Mel Robbins. I feel
like this is going to be a very short episode.
I mean, there are only so many things that you can say. I will say this, that I was having this discussion with my therapist, who we were talking about the first rule of mastery, like how, you kind of have to be in the moment, and however you're going to be able to adjust to the kind of stress and pressure that is going to happen to you in your life. Like there's a part in the first rule of mastery where he's talking about being in stressful meetings and being in stressful situations. And you can sort of go one of two ways. You can say, this is the most stressful thing that has ever happened to me in my whole life. And that kind of gets you to focus in and do the thing. Or you can be like, this doesn't bother me at all. Like I'm going to have to just let this all be chill. But you have to figure out which one of those mindsets puts you in the right space to attack it the way that you naturally would. And that is, she was talking about, she's like, have you read Let Them by Mel Robbins? And I was like, yes, I have. And I'm still struggling to get through the book. And I don't know if it's because of my sometimes attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. People will not like everything that everybody else likes just because we feel like that's somebody telling us what to do when we don't really enjoy being told what to do.
I feel like that's people in general a lot. I feel like with this, maybe it has a mix also that we read this book already.
Right.
3 times, I'm pretty sure that we read this book. I'm going to finish it, but we can discuss if you want to move on to another book for the podcast, because we've literally said all of this shit before. There are a few things I'm going to talk about today that I was able to pull out of these 2 chapters, but there's not really a lot, considering that this section is called Some Shit About People's Opinions. We just finished that book for real. And I look through the rest of the names of the chapters, and there are some things that are interesting. So maybe we'll discuss how we can attack things maybe a little different and get through it a little bit quicker. I'm going to finish reading it because I'd like to see what we can pull out of it. But are you ready for my thoughts about what I read?
I told my therapist, I'm like, I just don't know. I don't know what I don't know what it is. And she was like, have you expressed that on your podcast? Because I would like to see how hard people come for you when you say you don't like this book. And I was
You
like,
did last week. Yeah, we've already said that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I will say that Mel Robbins is dead on with everything she says. I've just come at it from different places. And I think that part of my anger is because I've already read it. Like, part of my anger is I've already read it. Part of my anger is everyone's saying how amazing it is. And I'm like, well, this all seems like common sense to me now. And then I get furious because she wrote a book about common sense things and is making gajillions of dollars. I think maybe that is also the part I can't get over.
Yeah, I get real mad at that guy who invented the Snuggie. I get
Right.
pissed,
Right.
man. I get pissed. I
Potato
know
chip
that.
covered
Yeah,
peanuts.
I knew it. Like I know that was my claim to fame, or
Let them.
grandma's or something. I don't know, but
Let them.
But that's originally. I mean, originally when you said this book, I was like, because, and that's why I was kind of about it, because it's very popular. It's very popular right now, and I swore like a year ago is when I first heard about it. And I was like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. That's good. But then like just recently the book gained some speed, and there's a lot of let them tattoos. And I don't think any of it's bad whatsoever. But I think that both of us maybe have an aversion to things that are popular.
Right. Right.
That's dumb.
It's fine. It's fine. I will say that I agree with everything that I've read in the book so far.
That's the thing, because we agree with everything that Michael Gervais said and Mark Manson. It's all the same stuff. But the thing is, I think that we need all of these authors to write their books, because not everybody reads Mark Manson the way that we did. Not everybody reads Michael Gervais the way that we did. So I think it's good for us to have all of these, because different people need to read different things. But anyway, so that's it. We're not talking about anything earth shattering today that we haven't already discussed. But I am going to talk about the 2 chapters. Okay, so the first chapter for today is chapter 5. Let them think bad thoughts about you, which is something that I've always it reminded me of me saying, that's fine. I mean, I don't really, if you don't like me, like, that's fine. Just talk about me behind my back. Like, I don't want to hear it, because it's happening. It happens. It's going to happen. People are not all going to like me. And I'm okay with that. I think that we have, as a family, discovered that I am not everyone's cup of tea all the time.
Yes. But like the contrast of that is I really like for people to like me. Like it is foundational in how I grew up. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
foundational in my place in the world is the fact that I can charm people. And when I
Yeah.
can't, I also find that very irritating and upsetting. So I mean, I think you have the both of us, and we approach this problem in different ways. I think the nice thing is that I'm also able to now after doing this podcast for a year and reading the same book 9 times and coming to the same conclusions is that I can be in a situation where I find out that somebody doesn't like me, and it doesn't make me spiral the way that it used to.
Mhm.
And I think that's the key. Like it's always going to bother me. Like I always want to be liked. Like my general approach to things is you should like me. I am awesome.
Do you think that's a problem with me that I don't really care if people like me?
No, I think these are just two different ways to look at things. Like these are just two different ways.
Maybe it's easier for me to be okay with that because generally people do like me. I mean, it's legit. I mean, I can name some people who don't like me, but it's like one or two. I mean, for the most part, I don't know.
I don't know, because, I expect people to like me too, because, at this point of my life, I like me. And
Yeah.
I'm always confused when it happens. Like,
Why? But I mean, genuinely though, like I do know of people who exist specifically who I know do not like me and I do not really like them. Um, and I don't really care. Like it's
right,
sorry. Like I don't all
right,
right. Well, I'm glad that you know that you don't like me so you can move on with your life too. Great. I
right.
don't really think about it all that much. But in this chapter, one of the main things here, and this is I was getting to this because I think that I've grasped
Sorry.
onto this and been okay with it, is that you need to just assume that people think negative thoughts about you because they do. They are. There will be people who have negative thoughts about you. And the big thing here in this little segment is talking about people who love you. There are people, the people who love you think bad thoughts about you every day, all the time. In the book, Mel Robbins gives you an example of everyone in her family. And I'm like, yeah, it's 100% true. She's like, my husband. And this is one of my favorite parts. She said, my husband wakes up every morning and lets out a big fart. And that makes me think badly of him because I think he's disgusting. And then she goes through each of her children. And I thought it was cute. She gets to her son and she was like, yeah, no, he's perfect. There's like, no, no, just kidding. He does this, he does that.
It's also gross.
But having these thoughts, and you can have these negative thoughts or bad thoughts about other people, but you could still have love and respect for them. Like these things can coexist. And if you tell me, no, that's my husband, I love him, I would never think anything bad of him ever because we have such a perfect relationship. I think that you are a lying piece of shit. And I feel bad for you actually because man your life's got to be boring, but anyway, that's the judging me. Yeah, it's okay, these things can exist. People are going to have bad thoughts about you and that's okay. And I think I've mentioned it before, one of Owen's little sayings in the bathroom, it's none of your business what other people think of you.
I love it.
So yeah, and
Accurate.
I'm perfectly happy with that. So that's really all I took out of chapter 5. Like I said, wasn't a lot of earth-shattering shit. So move on to chapter 6, which is how to love difficult people, which is the one I was really excited about reading. And I definitely got a bit more out of this. So one of the first things she talks about is the frame of reference. And this is something again that we've talked about, and it's really just understanding somebody else's frame of reference, meaning that the lens through which they see something is going to be different than what we see something. And we need to understand that we're not always aware of what someone else is thinking and how they're, what's the word, comprehending? I don't think that, it doesn't seem like the right word.
Is it you can never really understand their perspective. Like they don't bring the
Perspective. Yeah,
same they don't bring the same
exactly.
history to it that that
Yeah.
that you bring. Their interaction with this thing is different. Like the dress in
Yeah,
the
exactly. So we've
first
definitely
rule of
definitely
mastery.
fucking talked about it. In this case, the example that she gave was when her husband proposed to her. She was all excited about it and she told her mom and her mom was like, okay. And
Sounds
she was
great.
like, "What the?" And she again, we tend to just create our own reality or put ourselves and think that that's exactly what someone else is thinking. And so she just thought that this was something she didn't like her husband or whatever reason she wasn't happy, and that was kind of hurtful to Mel. And she carried that for like a very long time and finally came to see her mom's frame of reference, which was, yeah, this guy proposed to you and he lives on the East Coast. And now you guys are going to live on the East Coast. And now you're going to have a family on the East Coast, which is not where I live. So, of course, no, I wouldn't have picked this guy for you because you and your family are now going to live far away from me. So that makes me sad. And I find it hard to be excited about it. Even though I love your husband and feel like he's great for you, it's fucking with my life. So that's the understanding of what other people are thinking. And in this chapter, she talks about how we need to give grace to other people's frame of reference to kind of back up and give that other frame of reference a little bit of room. So you can figure out what that other frame of reference is and understand what that frame of reference is. And like she was talking about how she really understands that now, having older children. Like it definitely it makes it a lot different. So the frame of reference is, again, just knowing that people are looking through things in a different lens, looking at things through a different lens than what you are. And this is just reality. And another thing to remember when it comes to relationships and understanding someone else's lens is that not everyone else is trying to be a better person. Not everyone else is going to therapy. Not everyone else is digging into their past to find their trauma. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's just the way it is. Maybe not everybody has trauma. And I personally believe that everybody should go into therapy as soon as they're born. But I mean, whatever. We need to remember that there are people who aren't doing that and they're okay with that. And in these cases, these people are only going to be able to meet you as deeply as they've met themselves. So we can't expect them to up their behavior to match what you're doing. We can't expect them to say, yeah, just automatically, I'm a fucking idiot and figure that out because it doesn't happen. And in these cases, this is where you need to remember that the only thing that you can change is you. And that's where you have the control. So you decide what kind of relationship that you are going to create with these individuals based on your needs and your values. And this was the big thing that I took out of this chapter that I don't think we've really discussed before is the fact that not everybody else is looking to better themselves and change. And in these cases, when you're trying to figure out what relationship you want to build. The extreme cases, of course, are it might mean that you're going to always be the one who's going to make the effort, even when it's not returned. And if you're okay with that and that aligns with your needs, then that's okay. That's what you're going to do. Or it could mean the opposite of that. And again, extremes where you're going to decide that I need to make a change and I need to separate because this is no longer what I deserve and what I need. So it's time to move on. And that's it. That's really all I have to talk about. But I figured just that bit would be enough to start to make you cry.
Yeah. Yeah, that made me cry.
And I didn't mean to make you cry.
No, no. No, I'm just kind of it's funny because this book is stupid and I hate it. And yet, like, the perspective around that particular thing is one that like we haven't touched on, right? We haven't talked about how not everybody is like geeked to have conversations that are mature. Like,
Right.
and today at work, I had a shit ton of conversations where people were clearly not ready to approach things in sort of a grown up and adult way. And I found that extremely frustrating. And my response to being frustrated is to cry. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Which actually I feel like is a valid response.
I mean, I think me crying at work is never about, I'm so sad about how people have treated me.
Yeah.
Me crying at work is, I'm really sad I can't stab you in the neck, is
Frustration.
the way that that comes out. And today was just one of those days where everybody was like, well, Christine. And if I have to hear, well, Christine at work, it means that people are not going to be collaborative. People are not going to be, kind of on board to solve problems. They're going to be looking to do a lot of CYA. And that's always a hard spot for me to be in, because as cheesy as it is, I want things to work out at work because that's what's good for, making little babies here. And that's what's good for deciding if this medicine's really going to work and is really worth everybody's time and effort. Instead of, we're not going to do that because it might make me look stupid to somebody else. And I'm like, all right, fine. We'll play this game and we'll tap dance around this. So you didn't really make me cry. Thinking about these things today is kind of making me look at today's workday and in a new light. These are tears of frustration because I really do want people to work better and communicate better and to look at solutions instead of, pointing out problems.
Right. So, how do you take this back to your work tomorrow? Because I don't have the answer.
Right.
And I should preface that, like, this is again the easy
Right.
hard shit. Like, this
Right.
is great. Like, this is opening something up that we haven't talked about yet that I thought was pretty interesting. As much as this book sucks, um,
I mean, I love this book.
I thought this was, and this actually, this little nugget was what made me decide we should finish the book. Cause in chapter 5, I was like, we're just
Oh my
talking about
God,
the same shit. And then when I found this little tiny thing in chapter 6, I was like, ooh, I still think that there's going to be some nuggets sprinkled in here that we could use.
Yeah. And I think the way that this is sort of opening up my eyes is sad. Like, it makes me sad too. Like, it's sad that I have to be at work, and well, it's not sad that I have to be at work. I really do like what I do. I mean, it's
I'm
frustrating at
sad that I have
times.
to be at work every day.
But I think the way that I'm going to turn this into something that I can use is that I don't have any control over what those people decide to do, right? Like, I don't have any control over how you're going to approach this problem. What I have control over is the way I react to it. And if I go ballistic and get on a call and be like, what the hell are we doing? Fuck is happening here? Let's get our shit together. Then everybody loses, right? Like, that person is now confronted with somebody who isn't collaborative. The rest of the team is like, well, now everything is falling apart. Like, I owe it to the people at work and the people on these projects and the people on my team to come at this in a way that I would want everyone to come at it. Like, that's how we turn that into a positive. I don't have any control over how everyone else is going to react. What I
So
do
you
have
have to
control
let
over
them.
is, here's what I can do. I can offer these solutions, and I can be the
Mhm.
person that people are going to talk to about what they can do. Like, let me just put it out there. Like, yeah, this is a very hard position to be in. Like, this is very hard to deliver this kind of news. And when we have to deliver this kind of news, let's be as open and honest and, work together, cheerleader, as we possibly can. So that's the thing that I'm going to fall back on from the rest of the sort of self-helpy things that we have. I don't have any control over the way these people are talking. I don't have any control over what is going to happen tomorrow. What I do
Yeah.
have control over is Y and Z. So let's look at that and let's provide the best outcome that we can for the rest of the team. What's it going to take?
And we fixed all your problems.
Right. And here we are. And now I'm not crying anymore, even
But
though
it's,
there
I
were.
mean, it's kind of, it's funny. It's not funny, but like talking through it, it's exactly what the fucking book is about. Like, you just explained
Let them.
exactly what the book is about. Let them do whatever let them react in every shitty way that they want to. Let them be assholes. Let them make poor decisions about how they speak to someone. But you know what? That shit doesn't matter because I can't fucking control it. So let me be the change. Let me
Right.
show these people how we can do it. And
Right.
if they don't want to fucking follow, then let them.
Right.
So now
Exactly.
we love the book and we're going to go get tattoos tomorrow. We're going to go get let them tattoos.
I will jam something into my eyeball. You know what? We should also get teardrops tattooed on our faces because now we're all in a gang.
Yes. The Mel Robbins. No, what was the gang I was joining? Oh, I was pouring it out for the boner
You were going to be in a gang with Richard Stabone.
with Dick Boney. Yeah. So yeah, I don't have anything else to talk about as far as the book goes. I think that we summed that up pretty swiftly.
Yeah.
If
Again,
that
it's
makes sense.
it and there's something to be said, and I know I've said it a million times, that the fundamental truth to all of this, in that you can come at it like so many different ways, like
Mhm.
sarcastic, kind of a-hole relationship advice from Mark Manson.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what's more important than that? Like these fundamental truths that I'm uncovering. Like you can come at it from like ancient philosophy, like
Yeah,
the Stoics,
the Stoics.
that kind of kind of run through everything.
That I didn't even know like the Stoics were a thing. Like I didn't, this is all new to
Right.
me, just so you know. Like I didn't know that's what we referred to these people as. I was like, you're Stoic. Like I thought that's what these emails were all about until I started reading. I was like, oh, that's like a group of people. Wow. Okay.
Ancient
Cool.
philosophy. Like
Yeah, not a clue.
that is, to me, it is wild that you can find your way back to these sort of common themes, right? In these crazy ways. Like Michael Gervais being like the whatever, like coach of the coaches, like
Right.
supreme mastery guy, and Mel Robbins just trying to get soccer moms through the day.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
both of these people are doing the same, like the advice is the same. Like
Mhm.
Mark Manson, and when we eventually get to her, the master of the TED Talk, who now what I would like to see is Brene Brown and Mel
Mhm.
Robbins do like a cage match.
I was just going to say fight, fight,
Right.
fight.
I want them to fight. I want them to fight. I want them to both be the man in the arena, and I want them to fight. Show me how
Amen.
it's done, girls.
I bet, listen, if this happens and we don't get some cut of it, I'm going to be pissed.
Seriously. God damn it.
I'm
There's
saying
my
it
snuggie.
right now.
There's my snuggie.
If they go to a cage match and we are not involved and we don't get any money from it, I'm getting a lawyer. That's it. It's final. That's it,
Honestly,
motherfuckers.
we're putting it out there. We're putting it out there.
But I mean, and something that we found in this chapter is that one little nugget that you can get a couple things from each of these books that you didn't get in the one previous. So let's try not to have the attitude that we already know it all. I mean, even though I know it all.
I mean, yeah, yes, this is a very good lesson in humility. Thank you. I appreciate the fact that I was like, fuck this book. It's so goddamn boring. I already know it.
No, I'm saying both of us, because I was literally, when I sat down to read this, I was like, wah, wah, like in my head, we have these 70,000 thoughts a day, like 50,000 of them were yesterday when I was reading this book, and they were wah, 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 meow, 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 meow,
Meow, meow, meow.
That's what it was. Excuse me. So I'm 100% with you. I was giving up on the book as well. So I think this was a great lesson that, yeah, we don't know it all. And there are little things that we can pull from all of these types of books. So we will continue to read, and you will bring a little nugget and every time I say nugget, I think of like
Bring a
one
little
of
nugget.
Macho's little poops.
Right. Same. That's what everybody thinks of. That's what everybody thinks of.
And I
like
said
not
nugget
the golden nugget.
times. I just think of a little nugget, a little macho poop nugget. Anyway, so I would like to throw out there that we have a fun interview coming up next week. So we'll be interviewing Sam next week. It should be interesting, and she's super funny, just like us, and she'll say fuck. So I think that's pretty cool. And that's really all I have.
The party. Come and hang
What
out with
party?
us. We're having a party for our birthday.
I was like, what party?
What party? Well, I don't know. I know it's here.
Well, hey, I was super excited to see Heather post on the page. Michael's Ovation is going to be coming to join us. Kim D and Mel are going to be there. And I believe that Tony D, who's the other half of Kim D, will be there. Someone's going to drive them, I think. And us and Becca and the Becca mom and the Becca dad. So we're and the Gaster mom and the Gaster dad, because we're making them. So mom and
Also,
dad.
Me and Jean will be there too.
Oh yeah, yeah. And me and Jean will be there. Is David going to join us?
Maybe. I mean, it's always a maybe, right?
Well, I said I'd be there at 5. I'm not sure that Noah can be home and drive me down there by 5. We might have to leave my car.
You can
Because
Uber.
I'm going to be drunk.
I am probably not going to be drunk.
I am. I'm gonna be drunk.
Makes me anxious.
I reserved some tables for us. We'll be closer to the door, which is farther away from the stage, which was intentional.
Which is a good thing for you.
Because number one, I like to talk to people and I like to hear them. And in my old age, I typically say, well, how loud is that place? And the last
Becca,
time we went.
You know how it is. You know how it is. How loud is it? How's the parking?
Are we?
Will I need to drive around the block? Like, do I have to parallel park? Because I'm not going to go.
Well, they have valet parking too. So that's good.
Not going to go.
Right. These are
So
all things
old.
that I question. And when we were there for the 10 band, is that their name? The Pearl Jam cover band? My ears weren't right for weeks. And we
so
sat
loud.
right up by the stage.
So loud.
I couldn't do it. So yeah. So I reserved us some space closer to the back, closer to the door, where we might actually be able to hear each other. So that's cool. That's what old people do. Thought mommy and daddy might appreciate that because they're older than we are. However,
they can't hear anything.
Older. I was just gonna say
they've gone beyond.
They're to the older stage where they can't fucking hear anything.
They're like, this is great. Perfect
I can see
volume.
It right now. People talking to daddy and daddy just going.
Do they know John Prine? We'll take bets, like an over under on how many times your dad asks about John Prine.
It's gonna be the best. It's gonna be the best. So yeah, come join us. That's April 4th at the
Craft House Stage
and Grill. I always get them messed up.
It's Stage House Craft and Grill.
Yeah, I say Stage Craft.
The Grill House Stage and Craft.
Well, because my buddy who owns it,
Charlie
Stage. So that's always what I wanted to start with. But anyway, Charlie, I don't think he listens to the podcast, but I'm going to throw this out there. He will not be there because he will be visiting his new grandbaby. Yeah. So
no, it's funny to be like old enough to be worried about parking. Being old enough where we're visiting the grandbabies is maybe beyond what is needed.
Brand new grandbaby. I can't remember the name, so I apologize, but she is sweet. Baby. He sent me a picture, and then of course I saw some on Facebook, and you know how I feel about babies. They are not all cute. I will not say that they're all cute. If I just go, wow, congratulations, that means your baby is ugly. But if I tell you how cute your baby is freaking cute. And this little baby girl is fucking adorable. Like, she just has all these little perfect features, and she had one of those little hats with a big bow that's bigger than her whole body, and it still looked ridiculously cute. So yeah, on the off chance that they listen, congratulations. She's a beautiful baby. Aww. So enjoy. Aww. I think they're leaving the day after, like super early in the morning. So they're not going to be there. But I told him I accept that excuse, and that's probably one of the only excuses I would accept.
Baby. All right. I think we've said all the words. Yeah,
I've definitely said all the words. This is actually longer than I thought we were. I thought we were going to wrap it up at 40.
We never do. This will be like a 45-minute episode though, because there's 15 minutes of us going blah blah blah.
Hey, I did have a sign off here. Another one. We're just gonna keep throwing them out there until
find one that sticks.
Yeah, until we. So this one I would categorize it as snappy and bold. Actually, that's what ChatGPT.
Is that what you told ChatGPT? That's what snappy and bold sign off.
So here it is. Stay weird, stay well, and keep laughing through the chaos. See you next time on the Mental Funny Bone. Love you guys.